Good day, dear colleagues. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rustem Akhunov. I am the deputy of the State Council Kurultai, Republic of Bashkortostan, Budget Committee of our Council, and we are one of the co-organizers of this section, which is called New Financial Tools for the Population and Business, Trends, Perspectives, Solutions to Develop the Economy of the Regions. In my opinion, a very vital subject, and judging by the speakers who agreed to participate, our section is of interest both by claim and also by content. I'm sure it will be very rich. I would like to address our guests. We have a great poet whom you very well know. Let me quote him. He said that if at home there is no guest, it means that there is no joy in this home. We're very glad, we're happy to see you in our framework, Invest Sabantu Zaurali, and would like to give the floor to give the welcome speech to the co-organizer, the acting Minister of Finance, Svetlana Malinskaya. You have the floor. Please give your welcome presentation. Thank you for giving me the floor, dear colleagues, dear participants. On behalf of the Ministry of Finance of Bashkortostan, I would like to greet you. Thank you for choosing to participate in our section. It is, let's say, dedicated to the new financial tools, and it is held as part of the 6th Investment Sabantui Zauralia 2024. Today, we have quite interesting and significant subject both for business and for the common population. When financial processes stabilize, what is becoming more important is financial sovereignty and independence to develop financial tools on the basis of internal sources of finance. Today, Bashkortostan has a number of infrastructural projects, documents being implemented, which are aimed to increase the efficiency of financial sector and availability of financial services for the population. We work with the federal and republican organs, Bank of Russia, credit and financial organizations, expert community. We implement joint projects and programs aimed at further development and introduction of new tools of financing. Starting from January 1st this year, Russia now has a program of long-term savings. This is a new tool which allows population in a very simple and handy form to save money, to receive additional income in future, or to create the so-called reserve for any goal. Long-term savings is also present in the strategy. It is part of the increase of financial awareness and financial knowledge, and we have a very big goal of the federal level, together with the Ministry of Finance of Russia, the Bank of Russia, National Association of Non-Governmental Pension Funds. The participants of the financial market have a mission to develop this financial tool. In the Republic of Bashkortostan, the Ministry of Finance is the coordinator of this work to educate people how to use finances properly. Financial awareness and getting to know, people should know the fundamentals of finance. To coordinate this work, to increase financial knowledge, we have the Coordination Council headed by the Prime Minister of Bashkortostan, Andrei Nazarov. In 2022, we created regional centers of financial knowledge. It is one of our subordinate organizations, the Center of Financial Research of Bashkortostan. The head of this institution is also present here in our section. In this connection, there is a lot to do, and we implement promotional activities also regarding the long-term savings. We We promote the program, and we try to make people familiar with the financial fundamentals. We have a roadmap, and with control indexes, deadlines, schedule, etc. The next tool, which is also a priority one and sustainable market, the shared financing development, and which means placing the stock, issuing stock in the stock market. The federal law was lately passed about digital assets. Now, deals with digital assets are available both for individuals and companies, but in order to have digital economy, the list will be expanded, and this will be implemented at the regional level, which will allow to attract additional financing for construction and development of other types of infrastructure, and solve the issues of social development of the regions. This year, we are also implementing the savings for accommodation. It's been a while since it was implemented. We pay special attention. The Republic participates in the experiment dedicated to partner financing. In the beginning of the day today, we had a joint section how this mechanism is implemented. I think my colleagues have already said that Bashkortostan is the region which participates in a trial program, how to implement those tools. And I think that I think Marat, if necessary, he will tell this in more detail. And actually, we already had a whole session dedicated to that. We are a pilot region for the introduction of this program. And of course, we use the tools of bonds and securities, all kinds of. We offer a variety of solutions, or the tools which are available in the legislation, we actively use it in the Republic. So, to summarize, I would like to say that in our section we have our respective representatives of the Federal Center, participants of the financial markets, lead experts, who will share their information, what they know about financial trends and tools and skill set, and they will share their vision how to further develop the given tools. I hope we will have a very favorable climate for the discussion, and as a conclusion, in the end, we will have a number of suggestions which will be included in the resolution of the forum. Thank you, Svetlana. You started by saying you introduced the new financial tools which are being implemented in Bashkortostan in particular, but I would like to discuss each of the tools in detail, and I will probably break our session in two parts. In the first part, we will discuss financial tools for the population, for the individuals, and block number 2, we will discuss the tools which are vital and which are advanced for business, for companies. So, before I give the floor to our first speaker of our session, I would like to quote the decree of the President of our country, the new, which was published in May 2024, where the President voiced the main targets, areas of development. One of them is to ensure long-term savings for the population, not less than 40% in their total savings of the household by 2030. I think this is the target which we will bear in mind giving our presentations. I would like to give the floor to Pavel Shakhlevich, Deputy Director of the Financial Policy of the Ministry of Finance of Russian Federation, who will tell us about long-term savings and other tools, including private investment accounts, long-term insurance, life insurance. Can you hear us? Yes, greetings. Can you hear me?
Please, floor to you. Good day, dear colleagues. I'm sorry for being on the TV conference because due to my illness. But now, talking about the point, about the aims and the tasks that we have in front of us to get the sovereignty of the country. That was discussed earlier. For the last years, we've been working on creation of the whole branch of financial products for the long-term aims of our citizen. That's the program of the long-term savings, and all these products are aimed to for the long-term insurance, saved insurance. All the pensions on the real estate purchase or education costs to cover the education costs. And for the last few years and in a couple of periods, that was fixed in a product. And the market of capital is the best mechanism for the between the government, citizens, and the state is obliged to participate in such projects to receive the trust of the citizens. We work on the legislation on the individual investment fees, and it's going to be dated in the amount of million rubles. But
this law is going to pass the second hearing. I will first talk about the first two products. So, shared life insurance, we are planning to propose this to the second hearing of State Duma. It will be equal to about 2.8 million, and long-term savings, it is insured, 2.8 million balance is insured. So all the three tools are reliable. They're supported by the government. Individual investment accounts is aimed at various social groups of investors, either with previous experience of investing. Individual investment accounts are aimed at the people who have experience investing through brokers or trusted control of finances. So the programs are both suitable for people who have previous investment and those who don't. I suggest investing through professionals, through brokers. I don't suggest using some Telegram accounts where people, the so-called guru, they give you advice where to invest and where not to invest. So we tried to combine the advantages of all the three accounts. If you have a type 3 investment account, you may enjoy discounted taxing, and you will receive not more than 400,000 rubles as a cashback to your account. It depends on your investment. It means 62,000 rubles accordingly. The discounts for investing, if you invest for more than 5 years, the investment income there is a discounted taxation for the income which you receive through investment. You may also transfer. You must also rearrange your investment accounts, but not more than 3 years. which is also very advantageous for the population. Shared life insurance is the next product. It is aimed at a group of people who have previous experience investing, but they wish to have insurance. It includes investment part as an investment fund, shared investment fund, and also it has advantages of insurance. Actually, the terms of insurance are incorporated in your contract. This program is aimed at people who have previous experience investing. Those who don't, they can use the service of professionals, meaning a broker. So our next product is aimed at all the groups of population of the government. We have collected, united in this program, all the discounts that the government provides. Not less than 1% by 2025 will be attracted, allocated to the program. Now, as per the as instructed by the Ministry of Finance, we were involved in promotion. We went to the regions. With the full-fledged representatives, we do some road shows. We visit the largest cities of the country, and we meet colleagues. We tell in more detail. Our colleagues from the association, they visit employers who the long-term investment program is an integral part. So what is the long-term investment program? In plain words, it's a reliable reserve which is provided by the government. And you can set a long-term goal, something that you want to purchase, and for not less than 15 years, you may save money on a special account. And anyone may enter the program. You have to be not younger than, you have to be 18 plus. You can also have a kid, your kid. And non-government pension funds are under full control of the Bank of Russia. And we completely trust the Bank of Russia, and the assets, you can either use voluntary installments, or you can use the money which you keep on your account, on your pension account, and also you can use the co-financing, or it's a full-fledged reserve which you accumulate and invest in the financial tools. I would like, may I have my next slide, please? These are the advantages of long-term investment. As a starting asset, you can use your pension savings, and which are either in, you can go to public services webpage, and you can have a certificate, and you may find out how much you have. The co-financing assets from the government, this means not more than 36,000 rubles annually. Any person is eligible to receive this amount as the first installment. I will show you how this works. Then, discounted taxation. It serves as a cashback. You receive it on your account. You may withdraw the money prematurely, but in this case you will lose part of your investment income. We actually made a list of emergency life situations when you can withdraw your money and without losing the income. And one of the main features, as this program is catered at all the groups of the population, actually, you can inherit the money of this program. Your children may inherit the assets which are available in the program, and we try to build trust among the population. So your money is insured. The maximum is 2.8 million rubles. So if you lose this amount, the insurance company will compensate. Yes. Here you can see pension savings. Starting from 2002 up to 2014, the citizens, they were allocating 22% of their income, of their salaries, into their pension funds. And 16% of it is the insurance pension, and another 6% is the savings pension. So you can use these savings as the starting point, as the starting amount in the program. You can transfer them to the program, to the pension savings. Co-financing, any person who makes an installment over 2,000 rubles a year may have co-financing, is eligible for co-financing. It depends on your average income and the amount of money installed. For those, well, the maximum amount is 36,000 rubles. For each of your ruble, each ruble you invest, the government adds one more ruble, and this is how you don't have to make any additional paperwork. It happens automatically, and this will serve as the stimulus. Then I will briefly mention opportunity to receive money from the program. After 15 years of the contract term, or when males reach 55, when females reach the age of 55 years and males 60, so you can withdraw the given assets from the program. So you can both withdraw your own money and also that part which was provided by the government. You can use any amount to transfer to the program. This is absolutely voluntarily. So the culture which we try to promote, we want people to save money little by little. And regarding the pension savings, you're actually not sure how much money you have. And if you go to public services webpage, you can see your current balance of pension savings. So this is math. So to say, if you pay 6,000 rubles monthly, if you have an income between 80,000 rubles to 150,000 rubles, we can see that the co-financing, you will have 108,000 rubles. And as you can see, compared to bank deposits, you get your bank deposit will give you 14% maximum, while here you can see that you have an addition of about 20,000 rubles on a monthly basis. So I think these are the main features. I myself, I'm a member of a program of long-term savings. We do a lot of promotion with the funds themselves, because not all the funds provide easy access to the program, but we're working on that. We have quarterly meetings, and we have a project office at the Ministry of Finance Administration. We meet with pension funds on a monthly basis, and together with the association, we do roadshows on a monthly basis. So, colleagues, we believe that this program is reliable and far-reaching, and it's advantageous. I highly encourage you to enter the program. Thank you, Pavel. I think, yes, this was very exhaustive, and a lot of details were provided. And also you mentioned some other two tools. We have Valery Krasinsky, Deputy Director of the Department, Head of the Regulation Department of the Department of Investment Financial. So our previous speakers many times referred to your presentation about long-term investment. So let me give you the floor, and please answer the question. How do you see the main goals of this program? And what needs to be done in order so that the population believes and enters it? Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you for the organizers to give me opportunity. And if we're speaking about the program, I think Pavel Kirillовich have already given you the answer, but maybe I can just expand it a little, because when we were making the program, it happened last year, we had a goal to give our citizens a comfortable instrument, a useful instrument, beside other instruments that are on the market, and that will allow them to form the savings, to create the finance for the rainy day. And in comparison with the other projects, I think I'd use the word unprecedented because of the tax payoffs, takeoffs, and we don't have such products on the market, such products. And we look at from the point of view in the interest from the state or the citizen. Interest of the state is that during the current situation, economic situation, the sanctions, its state is itself long-term savings program, and the pension funds, and so they can finance the most important structures and programs, because it's not longevity from the point of view of the state, but of course the programs. So that's mutually beneficial programs for citizens and for the state. So let me get back to the presentation with the Ministry of Finance. This is our mutual presentation. So my part is dedicated to the operators of the non-official pension funds, because it's important to say what these kind of organizations are and what are the rules of the work of these such organizations. So what is NPF? NPF is mean like unofficial pension fund. It's an organization that releases additional opportunities to form the savings. It has expendable program. It doesn't only provide the pensional savings, but also long-term savings. And why it was created? It was created due to the fact to exclude any risks. So all the financial stability is based on these three whales, you may call it. So state pension fund has its own license, and it also has a pre-licensing process. It can be just some limited liability company, but now on the market there are 36 unofficial pension funds and 5 trillion rubles of citizens. These are the pension savings of the citizen, and long-term savings started to appear. We had like 142 million people. All those takeouts, official and unofficial pensions, considered to be like 1 trillion rubles in 10 years. Can we switch on to the next slide, please? So these such pension funds has some poor parts in their history, and see if it's trustworthy or not. Bank of Russia in 2013 received been authorized to become a regulator of the financial market. It has made it for the huge campaign for 3-5 years, not only in the unofficial pension fund programs, but the others as well, for a few years. And this program has been finished. So on the market of the pension funds and other markets, we have only stable authorized organizations to keep it in a good shape. And if we're speaking about the regulatory terms and our estimation of unofficial funds, in a good point, the most respected institution is, because we speak about such a big amounts of money of the citizens that play a huge role at our markets, and it's we have determined strict examples. The financial stability, the first is testing. Bank of Russia creates special screenplay plot for the future with the stressed events, some inflation, some loan risks, and unofficial pension funds must show that in 5 years it can keep doing its work fully. So if there are harsh requirements for the kid that are established by the Bank of Russia in how the unofficial pension funds can invest money, if there are limitations to some risks, and it allows us to say that kit of unofficial pension funds has only stable and trustworthy activities. And we have the multi-level control on the program. As I mentioned before, that is 2.8 million rubles. That is approximately more than it used to be. So, in short, what the unofficial pension fund does, we do make an agreement. Client brings investments for the long-term savings program, and unofficial pension fund accumulates all these funds in their kit, and received investments are played by the rules that were established by the Bank of Russia. Mostly these are investments to the high-value papers, shares for the good shares, and some securities. And they spread all over the accounts of our citizen. So income is proportionally divided to each client of the unofficial pension fund. I'll give you some numbers on the history of the investment activities of the fund, including the inflation. And you have to understand that an official pension fund is the conservative institution, and its main goal not to receive some more money, but first of all, the goal is to provide this safety for the savings and earn some money that is more than the percentage of the inflation. So we have the statistics with inflation, and these are examples for the 2023, and they have earned 9.9%. These are two cases. two kids, and but inflation was 7.4%. And on the right side of the slide, you can see the structure of the one kid of the unofficial pension fund. 12% is the 5% in deposits, and the other in other shares. So we can speak about more about the trustworthiness of the fund. It has more than 200 million rubles. We have the special reserve that is being regulated by the Bank of Russia. There are a lot of plots on the market, and we have to create such a airbag to be saved. And then one important thing, that money of the unofficial pension fund are strictly divided from the savings of the citizen, and they are being invested separately, and all the risks are go straight and clients of these funds are can be aware that investments are safe, and all the investments are being done safely. And once an official pension fund does not face the requirements of the Bank of Russia, Bank of Russia obliges such funds to return all the investments back. And the Bank of Russia also does the investment control and other types of control that we call the main inspection that takes place a couple of times a year, and the control goes very deeply. So finishing, I would like to tell about the current situation. These are the statistics that is executed by the end of this week. So we have 21 unofficial pension funds that received license to make such deals and perform such work. We have more than 468,000 agreements that are signed, and they have already transferred their pension savings according to this program. And the additional figures, that because we are located in the Republic of Bashkortostan. It's in we can say that it's on the top of the list of the table. So I suggest for Republic of Bashkortostan not to stop and keep working. So thank you very much, Valery Krasinsky. When I was preparing for the section, I checked the structure of the financial activities of the domestic goods of Russia and household financial. And because citizens decide where to invest and where to save money, so I came to conclusion that 36% are going to deposits. If we look at the structure of the deposits, by the terms and the dates, it goes up to 3 years. They try to reach 100% goal. Cash currency, 15% of the savings are in the hands of the citizen, but thus structure have already changed drastically since the beginning of the special military operation, and they used to be in rubles, but there are but the interest to the foreign currency is still active, and the household activities goes to for shares and other forms of participation in the capitals. So in 2024, in January 2024, household activities are considered to be 151 trillion rubles. But you brought that figure that in an unofficial pension fund, it's been accumulated like 5 trillion rubles. So I see the potential and space for the further growth. Do you believe in the future of such funds? Well, of course, of course. I just would like to repeat my thesis. I've been working in the financial market for a long time, and to be honest, yes, the environment and conditions are very good for the savings, and one because huge unofficial pension funds have a big experiences working with such kids, and as we say, the airbag savings, and part of such investments are deserve to be participated in such programs.
Before I give the floor to the next speaker, I would like to ask the audience, and let me ask you a question, and please, we will record your votes. Imagine you have long-term savings. We mean, by long-term savings, we mean which are structured and which are placed on a deposit more than 1 year. Please raise your hands, those of you who have long-term investments. Well, I think about 35% of the audience has long-term savings. Alexei Denisov, the Vice President of the Self-Regulatory Organization of National Association of Non-Governmental Pension Funds. Please continue on the subject and give us your point of view about the perspective of the program of long-term savings. Greetings, everyone. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak and tell you from our viewpoint of a governmental pension fund how it happens. You, Rustem, mentioned about deposits, and you mentioned the tools which people use to invest and which are already available in the statistics of the Bank of Russia. So I hope that starting from next year we will have a special statistics, and that part of the deposits will be transferred by people into the savings. Well, my colleagues today already mentioned many things, but I would like to speak about the details which we should pay attention to, and we want people to understand and share our vision about co-financing. We talked 1 ruble to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 4. As of now, with the Ministry of Finance, we are in talks. We have a dialogue. When we travel in the regions, just last year we had a conference in St. Petersburg and Volgograd, and everyone is asking, what is the length of the program? 15 years? We say no, and the Ministry of Finance understands that the average salary is about 73,000, and if we change the given parameters, there will be amendments and given and updates, so it will move. I'm sure the program will fly, and I'm sure that the program will grow just as the average salary grows. Regarding pension savings, I will probably give you some features. Starting from 2002 until 2013, all of you know, 6% is paid by the employer, and the people were receiving it in rubles. Now they're frozen, but starting from 2014, the government actually additionally gives you 1 pension point. Your insured pension should be higher because, according to the idea of the government, the people didn't lose the money, but they were frozen. As the insurance part of your pension, actually it grows quicker, and so I think we will see the indexes same as we were planning to, but in rubles it is more understandable for the population of Russia. When you understand how much 1 point is worth, money-wise, it's better to understand. So these are the steps to conclude the contract. Very simple. You have to make a decision, choose a non-governmental pension fund, 21 of them nowadays. I will give you a link which funds how to conclude contracts, and then you should make regular installments and save. advantages. Deposits. Why do we expect that deposits will be transferred by people to the pension funds? In the table, you can see that if you have a deposit, the government insures your savings 1,400,000 rubles worth. And also, if a citizen has a deposit and it gives an income more than the refinancing of the key exchange rate, you have to pay income tax. Well, actually, if you break your savings if you keep it in different banks, it doesn't work anyway, because the government sees that the amount is bigger. If we open a deposit, put 1 million rubles, 16% APR, and once you cross the barrier, which is 1,200,000, well, your income will decrease because you have to pay income tax. In the pension fund, with every ruble, as we have mentioned, you're getting a discounted tax. The government pays extra to the citizen, and he or she may save money. The maximum amount is 2.8 million. There might be several contracts, but co-financing covers only 3. There is an opinion that we should remove this limitation, and I'm sure it will be lifted sooner or later, and people will be able to save more for their children and have more contracts. But co-financing, it's proportional, and you are getting only 36,000, no matter how many contracts you have. And well, the rest of the advantages, they are quite obvious. Let's talk about savings, about pension funds. Today it was mentioned already, but I want to mention that the industry has been around for 30 years now, and we have paid pensions more than 130 billion rubles worth. This is the result of the research. Everyone is asking, what's going to happen in 15 years? What will be the rate of income? People are afraid, including me, but I treat this issue in a more philosophical way. Well, the market of collective investments is created so that with little savings you can form a capital. So if I were the owner of Gazprom, probably I will not be interested in this program. But I'm not. But if I had some asset which gives me income, it would have been interesting, but the majority of our population, they don't have 3 or 4 apartments or accommodations. But the market of collective investment, you can allocate relatively small amount of money, but at the same time, you can save the money. There was a research made what is important for the citizens. In the first place, people mentioned safety. The investment, the savings need to be safe. The industry is very toughly regulated, but it's important. The population support that. When people approach the pension age, it doesn't matter. High income is not very important. What is important is that your pension is paid regularly without delays. And the investment portfolio that we see, mostly people choose conservative type of investment, but with guaranteed income. In a long-term perspective, this kind of investments, they manage to cope with inflation. Here we have 2 programs, mandatory pension insurance and non-mandatory, and I hope that next year we will have a new curve which will show us the pension investments, and I'm sure that will grow. It will grow quicker than inflation. Regarding pension savings, we've mentioned, yes, you can transfer it. As of now, it is implemented in the following way. If you have pension savings in the non-governmental fund, inside this fund, you can transfer your money into the long-term program. What are the advantages? First of all, as we mentioned, and the colleagues also mentioned this program worked until 2014. But the thing is that today a citizen may receive the money only he or she turns 55 for females and 60 for males. Once you reach the retirement age, you file an application and you receive the money only in equal installments, partially until during your lifetime. In other cases, you may receive an addition of 2,000 rubles, and this money cannot be inherited. Until you're alive, you can receive the money. If a person is dead, the money is not given to anyone. And the people question the program. They say, okay, I worked so much time and I'm receiving this only such a small amount. If you want a big amount, you can have it one time. When you transfer your money into the long-term savings, the mode of use of this money changes. You may have it either as a one-time investment and or as a urgent payment, and you can also receive it until during your lifetime, but in this case it is broken down into installments, into payments. Well, according to the program, it is broken down into 264 months. You are getting about 2,000 rubles addition to your pension, and according to the death rate, and it is a bit lower, and it is a little more advantageous. The main advantage is when you have urgent pension, it will maybe the maximum of 10 years. So you may finance your pension income. They are broken into 120 months. So the monthly amount is 2 times more. The program doesn't provide for the lower threshold. It may be 3, 5 years or 1 year, and the amount, in case of prompt payment, increases. So it depends on into how many months or years you break your amount of savings. And this amount could be inherited. Let's say you begin to receive a prompt payment. If a person dies, the relatives may inherit the amount, and it turns out that the family of a person, they may receive a certain amount as part of this program. Colleagues have already mentioned that if you transfer your money from one program to another, you can use it in some emergencies. Let's say you need a costly surgery, you may apply prematurely, and your money will be provided to you, and according to the co-financing, your investment income will be provided to you for a surgery. And if you face a difficult situation, especially when you lose a patron, we made some calculations whether people are afraid of the duration of 15 years. So speaking about efficient rate, with the co-financing, the rate looks very attractive, even regardless of the fact that the term of co-financing is 3 years only. In the program, it says that this term may be extended. Our colleagues from the Ministry of Finance say that they are looking at 5 years, and we in the association, we say you shouldn't be afraid. We should talk about 10 and 15. Everyone wins from the program where the government gives its assets. The people usually they don't cash it to buy something in a grocery store, but they save them, invest in infrastructural products, construction of a high-speed motorway Moscow-St. Petersburg, and reconstruction of Kutuzovsky Avenue. There are a lot of projects where non-governmental funds participate throughout Russia. And it turns out that this amount of money increases the taxed amount, and you pay more taxes. In 3 years, we made a research. Usually, you get back the amount in the form of taxes. You shouldn't hesitate. We, with our colleagues from the Ministry of Finance, the more you use, the more taxes the government receives, and we hope that the given amounts are extended. If we looked at current conditions, that the maximum term is 3 years, if we have one-to-one financing, 1 ruble invested by you, and the government adds 1 more ruble, the effective rate will be 121. If we talk about 5 years, it's 71 ruble. And even if this is just an average, we just want you to understand that co-financing drastically increases the economy, both for the citizen, for the fund, and for the government as a whole. Regarding whether people are afraid of 5 years term, we say, look, there are a lot of tools and deposits, investment, where people risk with all their money. People don't understand it. They just go there, they give them money, and when they receive less than they invested, and the bank would say, you're an investor, you should bear risks. You could have lost everything, but you lost just a portion. But regarding the program of long-term investment, the funds, they bear responsibility. They cannot work to a disadvantage. Others guarantee additional income. This tool is protected. If you look at the risk, what is going to happen in 15 years, all the financial instruments, they play in the same financial market. The Bank of Russia regulates that. What's more, what's less. But the risks are, global risks are more or less the same in 15 years. But the government today pays more attention to the program of long-term investment and co-financing, and discounted taxation, etc. And if this continues, the government won't help its citizens, and this program actually is the manifestation of this aid. Thank you. I think that the audience gradually changes its viewpoint for a more positive one. Colleagues, in the very beginning of my introduction, I referred to the new decree of the president, which was issued in May 2024. Well, I have something else to say. If you bring back the slide, you can see the link, and there is information about non-governmental pension funds. It says how to conclude a contract, how to start financing. Thank you, Alexei. Thank you. Use this QR code. I think we can leave this slide for a while. Speaking about the national targets, which were mentioned by the president, one more target which we need to achieve by 2030 is the growth of capitalization of the market up to 62% by 2030, up to 75% in 2036. To understand whether it's a lot or maybe not quite, you should answer the question, how much is it now? Today's capitalization of the capitalization of the stock market is 33%. And how do we achieve double growth? One of the reserves is that the percentage rates for deposits will go down, and people will choose to transfer their assets from the deposits to the investment accounts. And I would like to give the floor to our next speaker, Artyom Babinkov, Director of Bond Market Development of the Moscow Exchange Financial Platform. He will speak about bonds for the population as a means of attracting investment. Greetings, dear colleagues. I hope you can hear me well. Yes, you have the floor. Greetings. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers to participate in Investment Sabantu Zauralia. Apologies for not being present personally. Well, I'm in Perm region right now, and unfortunately, due to logistics, I'm not able to participate. I represent Moscow Exchange, and I would like to tell of how could the government of Bashkortostan benefit from cooperation with us. Okay, please take some time to review the slide. I think 2020 Moscow Exchange was associated with trades, foreign currency funds, providing depository clearing and other services. So at the very beginning of our panel, Svetlana mentioned about allocation of shared investment. So we are here to help you. We provide IPO and also the bonds, which, please, you're welcome, come. It works perfectly well. It worked like this until 2020, when the situation changed drastically, because in 2020, the federal law 211 was passed, which says actually the operator of the financial platform appeared. You can see it in the middle. It's called Moscow Fin Services. Moscow Exchange was #1 who received this status, and it's included in the register of the Bank of Russia under #1. It's a leader in the segment, and in this slide you can see the architecture of the marketplace system. I have to communicate a lot with business and power. The law was passed in 2020, law number 211, but many people are not familiar with it. So I usually start my presentation with this slide. On the left you can see the producers of the products, for example, organs of power. This could be municipalities and the government of Bashkortostan. Then issuers of corporate bonds, and they are quite successfully allocated in our financial platform. There are credit companies which provide deposits and insurance companies. By the way, there is one participant who is missing, concession fund. Moscow is actually in talks with the pension funds. Maybe we could integrate pension funds into this architecture, so we can attract the users of insurance services into the market. On the right, you can see the consumers who are over 18 years, who have a proven account in Gosuslugi public services, and who are wishing to become investors in the financial services. You need to have mobile phone, tablet, or desktop computer. You can go to our webpage, download an application, and you can have a personal account. You can see that you will have a digital profile, Tinkoff ID. These are the sources of information, legal ones, to which the operator of financial platform is connected. we need to follow very strict requirements of the Bank of Russia of information protection. The operator is very strictly regulated together with the rest of the participants of the market. And if you have an agreement, you can aggregate the data required to open your personal cabinet. You should bear in mind the law 115 that you shouldn't finance any kind of illegal activities, including terrorism or money laundering, etc. So the data you need to have a sales deal of a security or bond. You have a register, and the depository is there, and an individual may, free of charge, anytime receive a certificate which kind of deals were made, and you can have it online. As of today, financial services are provided, and you can purchase bonds, you can open deposit, you can have loans and mandatory car insurance. So this is a valid infrastructure. If you are interested, you can, even during my presentation, you can download an application and you can purchase a security. And the exchange rate of the Bank of Russia has grown drastically. And regardless of the fact that they have an exchange of 11%, people still buy it. Now, regarding the tool itself, which we call bonds for the common citizens, how did the idea come to be, and where is it in our architecture? The idea of bonds for the common population. Actually, the idea is that this is done to the interest of the population. This is based on Law 414. Similar requirements are in the general principles of organization of municipalities. For this purpose, the organs of power, they have certain duties, and so the municipalities, they can allocate funds to various purposes. I should mention that the bonds, they help to replace banking financing, which is the most expensive, allows the regions to implement the most independent financial policy, and they can mitigate the negative factors and budget duties. The methodological recommendations for the regions of the Russian Federation, they contain that it's open, it's extraterritorial, it's available, and actually this will make more people involved into the budget and becoming more aware and have competences. So these are the main areas of development of policies. The region, using IT infrastructure by purchasing this product and issuing some very small amounts of bonds to the population, they implement a lot of keys of efficiency, attracting IT infrastructure, reaching digital matureness, which is a separate KPI. What does it mean for the population? The population gets a great tool with an income which is almost equal to the bank deposit, which saves the savings. This is exactly what the president is saying. When citizens buy bonds, it means that they are directly involved in the resolution of the issues of regional importance. Additionally, if you purchase bonds through Moscow exchange, it means you are secured against fraudsters and you increase your financial culture and awareness. And there is a strategy by the government until 2030 to increase awareness of the population in terms of finances, and you can use securities of the subjects, of the regions, of the look picture one of the strategy. Alexei, apologies. Yes, please, we understand your idea. It's very interesting. Could you please make a conclusion? So, dear colleagues, the tool is efficient. I suggest the organs of power and business to look at it as one of the areas of financing of when you have a deficit of the budget. You can find me, you can resort to me. I will give you all the contact details. Thank you so much. See you again. Mark, well, I think we are behind the schedule, so I have to say that at 5:30 p.m. there will be a plenary part of our forum where we will have a presentation of the head of the region. I invite you to speak very briefly. Mark, I know you have a presentation, but please, could you make some conclusions and please give your vision of what was said regarding the region? I have something minus 15 minutes. I'll try to be brief. I will not repeat what has been already said. I just want you to remember that our region,
that we see with the investment, it's lower than the average number. But on the other side, high debt income is depends on the mortgage and the other loans. And on the other side, seventh place on we take fifth or third place because we have instruments for the work as for the brokers, and that says that some part of our citizens, they participate actively. And this program is a very on-time program for the Republic of Bashkortostan. But there are few moments that are special to Republic of Bashkortostan. As Evgeny Alexandrovich said about the savings program, I just want to accentuate that it's going to be legislative. We need to move forward our experience. And partnership finance, I can see opportunities not only for the citizens but opportunities for them as for the beginning entrepreneurs. And I would like to address the financial organizations first of all, because they already work for some time on this market, and some banks and some could also take their own place in this program, because there are already been some incidents with leasing companies. So what we're going to have the following. There is such instrument called SUKOB. It can be implemented in the structure of this. There can be structured differently. And what more, getting back to our longevity program, I just want to pay your attention that it's potentially that for the digital financial assets, halal programs that are under the determined indexes. We could have taken a part of the kit and teach them use the same deposits and perks, just like in the classical, to make them classical instruments, tools. And what we can say about the PIFs or the PIFs, real estate can be regarded as instrument, as a partnership, financial, and personal equity plan on the Islamic financials. And if we speak about the upcoming presentation, yes, in Bashkortostan here we do have some slow work on this project, but thanks to the educational institutions, as I see the financial institute here, they have already managed to start a program on upgrading the qualification of people. And the University of Scientific and Finance will start their own new program on the studies, and like you can study like in pretty good institutions, universities like in Moscow. We want everything work in the profits of our citizens and the people of Bashkortostan, because investments are coming, the growth is getting bigger, and it's important to have support from the financial point of view. Thank you. And can I ask you a question? Have you ever found an answer why the specifics of the region is concerned that the amount of share are lower than citizens can get? Do you know this thing is pretty chronic, and these incomes were lower than Russians, first of all, and secondly, most part of the citizens are 30% and they're conservative and they live in the rural countries. For example, when they build households, and that's a real assets that citizens would like to purchase, and that's a common thing for such regions like ours. Yes, and as a researcher, and I agree with you fully, because the part of the rural householders play a significant role. And you have already mentioned two things about like financial opportunities and about Islamic tools of Islamic financing. Can we please switch our next speaker? Sergey Alexandrovich, Development Director of Atomize LLC. Opportunities of digital market and the financial assets for business. Do we have a good connection? We ask you just to take only 5 minutes for your presentation. So, floor to you. Yeah, good day, Eric, dear colleagues. And we'll move straight to the point. Please switch on the first slide. So, if we speak about the digital financial assets, we had it before the blocking and of the external financial currencies and the finished consumer, and as for the investor and for the other companies who perform in the investment program. And you know, the rate played more than in a classical market, and as we are a very productive country, and sometimes we go forward in some projects, it's important to understand that many companies like the Société Générale in 2019 started making such assets, and we understood that the perspective of developing such market is just a matter of time. And by the 2020, this market started growing and developing, and 59th legislation on the digital financial activities boosted the markets and was the first step in the progress of the market. So the key moment about the advantages why the currency digital financial assets are highly demanded in terms of business projects and in the terms of investors. It's because it's a utility and a transparency, and that's a key parameter such as flexibility and programming. You know, we can automate these activities. It's diamonds, high value metals, and etc. Like values like the or create the analogs of classical tools with more flexible conditions. And the second part is the secondary market, that we can automate it without to exclude the agents to receive a more competitive rate, especially for investors who can be a physical or a juridical person. And we can create this bridge that will allow to people to release, implement their projects. Time to market is one of the important part of the financial activities, and the important part is the time of its realization and implementation. And we give that bridge to our investors that can help them to release their business in a matter of a couple of days, and give them they can take all the tools. And I would like to speak about it more because the central bank, according to 59th legislation, controls our activity, and we're the first company in Russia who received this license of informational systems operator, and we are microtransactors that currently release more than 8 smart contracts. But the basics are, we will explain it more, but the evaluation of expenditures and waste of money, it's due to the reduction of the mediators, and can suggest more profitable project, and finished consumer can receive a more high quality result from the project. And as far today, it's more than 800 smart contracts, more than 10 activities, and the things that is a amount of huge products that are connected to the, for example, integrated with a financial institution. It's St. Petersburg Stock Exchange market. First of all, it's the first place from the point of view of amounts. Because we move to the right direction with the right speed, and we try to provide, or to, you may say, to kill all the requirements that have been faced before. And we also give some credits that that allows to create the business for and the digital metal is these are two different activity assets that will give you opportunity to get the other. You will be able to receive the money or gold, for example. By the end of the project, you are free to your will to choose what would you like. And the digital square meters that I mentioned before, these are instruments that allow us to invest into real estate and receive the upside from the projects up to the realization. For example, like G Group or peak companies that are highly demanded on the market, and we can see the development in such instruments and tools. So the mean of metals, like an instrument that allows us to hydrize some part of our kit, that is really good in terms of quality in the investments. That is very understandable for investors and for the businessmen. I will not explain about the other instruments, but the main thing I wanted to say to talk about is the who recently said at a conference with the support of the central bank, what really helps us to increase and expand our opportunity of our business is the organizing of classical instruments. Thus, we understand that involvement and expansion of liquidity will play as a win-win. Will have a win-win situation between the partners. In addition, the last nuance is that the perspective of development and the planning, and Vladimir Putin also have signed these legislations in spring. It's important, and that's the branch that we would like to move forward and to upgrade it. It's important for us, and it will close any requirements of any players on the market, on the classical market, and investors as well. So that's it. Thank you very much. I am sure that is a separate topic to be discussed, and we are short of time. That's the rules, unfortunately. We have also another guest that I would like to present you. It's Yulia Alferova. And the topic of your speech is Yulia Sergeyevna, please.
I have a request. Just please several minutes, because we are pressed for time. We discussed already that we have the assets which people have on their deposits is of an interest for us. And for some reason, we understand why banks love large clients, but there is an interesting mechanism which was integrated in 2020 into the national project supported by the Bank of Russia, the so-called crowd financing, which ensures compensation of expenses which the companies use when they attract funds. Well, it may sound complicated, but let me explain in plain words. People very often confuse, because the terminology is quite vague currently. The terminology, the term crowdfunding, crowd investing, crowd financing, these are crowd mechanisms, because very often there may be confusion. Crowdfunding is a pre-order of goods and services through donations. Crowd lending means loans through various platforms. How can we possibly get the assets of citizens involved? And crowd investing is buying shares in startups. It's clear. This is the vision of the Association of Operators of Investment Platforms in terms of life cycle. It depends on the amount of your turnover, amount of your circulation. We have about 30 subjects which we see as the points of growth, where more efforts are required, especially in the regions. And in this case, we will have significant economic growth. I mean, creative industries and a number of others. The crowd mechanism is not properly, they are not familiar. Small and mid-scale businesses, they are not familiar with crowd technologies. They are afraid that so we talk about the assets which we may allocate through the platforms. Every month, the association publishes the figures. We grow, but we grow slowly. We have money. Common people, actually, they begin to trust the intermediate institutions and the centers for the support And when everyone hears what kind of a platform is it through which we can attract money, is it legal? The first question is, this is something like microfinancing at a crazy average percentage rate. Well, it's quite high, but when you do a couple of million rubles, it works. Well, you don't use banking cards, which are supervised by the central bank. It's a part of the federal projects. In 2018, I worked as the counselor of the Minister of Economic Development. The amounts are little. Crowdfinancing, where is it? Probably it's when at the starting point of the company. This is the death valley of small and mid-scale companies, because the first 3 years of lifetime of a startup are the most difficult. Now the legislation provides what is an investment platform. Not every platform may serve as a provider of loans. This is the mechanism. This is the block scheme. We have an investor. Why we talk about money on accounts? Where else can they invest? But saving for what? And we began looking at the small and mid-scale companies. We didn't actually believe. And I will give you some white papers. This is the amount of small and mid-scale companies involved and a number of individuals. And then we say, can we go back, please? This is what is required to... These are the step-by-step instruction. We have 85 platforms, and we have platforms which are certified by the central bank. We have a scoring system which is more flexible compared to that which banks provide. How rigid is it in terms of scoring? Well, it is flexible because our target audience is small size investors, because the banks are not interested in them. They're interested in large size investors. When companies go to that platform, it's like a marketplace. The platform gets a commission. So this is what the Ministry of Economic Development did to compensate the percentage commission of the platform. For the interpreter, it is becoming free of charge. Well, it works well, and but once you begin explaining, let me show you several cases how we attract money. Marketplaces we've mentioned. It's very convenient when you need to attract money. These are the companies, 26% APR. When necessary, we understand that business may have loans like that. For this kind of inquiry, the individuals invested the money, and the case is completed. The sums start from very small ones up to 3 million. So these are the industries which are leading in those 80 platforms. Investment platform provided their money, trade, construction, real estate, HoReCa, hospitality and recreation. And so we don't have many. We need to make sure that we need to hold webinars to promote this among people and to increase awareness. So what are we actually promoting? We are promoting 85 platforms or marketplaces which are not numerous. We need to begin educating people. So what we invite at the regions, the banks of Russia supports, and commercial banks also do this. Until we educate small businesses and mid-scale businesses, because usually you believe someone who you trust, who's your neighbor, Yes. Yes, I was enlisted as a person who promotes the crowd technologies in Russia. I think this tool is underrated and it has huge potential. Well, unfortunately, people in our country, they prefer to give the money to their neighbors rather than investing. And so this is my Telegram. This is my Telegram channel, and the presentation will be available there. Well, actually, I have taken a paramount task. I have to apologize. To give the final word.
Would like to give the final speech to our Dr. Kalimulina Madina, who is now getting connected to us. Is the executive expert on the Islamic finance, and her topic is barriers and the opportunities in development of the partnership development. Madina, can you hear as well? Yes, good day. Good day. We can hear you very well as well. You have 5 minutes. Thank you. Good day, to every dear guests. And while listening to the other colleagues, I would like to determine that most of the tools that have been discussed today, they are work now, and there are some fields where it need to be upgraded and finished better. And by all the parameters of Islamic products, I support the position that we need more practice to pass over the barriers and obstacles, and we are only at the start of the experiment, and it's been 9 months. It's such a huge topic that includes different tools and instruments, and 9 months is not is a small term. Nevertheless, it's new important stage for now. It's important for the participants of the market who are specialized on such markets and the instruments and who would like to try themselves, test, and the partnership financial instruments. There are no limitations on the national or religion, but more moral and ethic principles that are important for everyone. Yesterday we have already discussed that there are, like in any financial mediatory, that we have divided into 2 groups, and I would like to first of the investments products on the investment of attraction of resources, such as opening the assets and opening the debt cards, bank cards, and banks. There are banks that are willing to participate in such market. These are the most simplest products to pass the barriers. And when we have been developing and discussing the concept in legislation on the partnership financing, we had the idea that there must be special forms of new forms of financial organizations, but now we're just trying it on the trial version, and which want to give the opportunities to the loan organizations, and these barriers and obstacles, they cannot participate actively in such markets because they're afraid of risks, because the work of banks are very special, and they mostly take risks, and these instruments are being implemented in the banking system pretty well. But investments, shares, and deposits, on one hand, there are opportunities for implementations and use of non-profitable organizations, such. On the other hand, such organization. They haven't done such. They don't have such an experience, but Sberbank have already implied that they would like to search for the Islamic deposits, and they're willing to participate. But in general, this concept, it doesn't have any harsh, strict percent, and the concept responds to all the requirements of the markets, and they are being implemented, and all the services are available, including the Republic of Bashkortostan. There are companies that they are helping. What about the special investment projects? Usually it's work with a huge big investors. These are the special investments agreements, and we can speak about the investment friendship organization that are work with the structures. There could be some obstacles as well, but the form itself can be used as the basis for the usage of such instruments. But if we speak about the sukuk like an alternative, we can say that the pilot projects that are being financed like in the last week, the problems are low level of information, new types of risks that have been mentioned by our previous speakers, and we speak about. Madina Miruna, we're really sorry, but we have to stop you here. We would like to thank you for your participation. We had a separate section dedicated to partnership co-financing, but we cannot finish your speech, listen to your speech, but thank you for your participation, dear colleagues. There are two people whom I'd like to applaud to and say thanks. These people that who weren't able to give their speech today. Azat Khayrulin, CEO of the leasing company of Republic of Bashkortostan, and the head manager of Center of the Scientific Researches. Of course, we will listen to them later or one day, hopefully. So, dear colleagues, thank you for the participation. We had mentioned a huge amount of instruments and tools here that can be used not only in life but also in work. Do you have any messages, dear colleagues? So, all right, thank you very much and goodbye.